Well, good evening. It's Longhaultanker, straight razor shaving with Longhaultanker. And it is Sunday evening on December the 11th, 2022 at 7:45 p.m. Central Time. That'd be 1945 Central Time. And as you may be able to tell by my background, that I am in the driver's lounge at our company's home terminal. And I'm getting ready to do a straight razor shave. Not had a shower, of course, and you may not be able to tell it by my surroundings because I'm not showing it to you, and I'm not going to dismount the camera and do a surrounding pan. But everything's tore up. In fact, the sign on the door said out of order, and it looks like they're doing a remodel job in here like they did downstairs about 2 years ago. And I came over to the sink to see if the sink had water in it, and it does. And so I said, that ain't gonna stop me. All I had to do is clean it up a little bit, and the countertop here is just cluttered with painting and sheetrock supplies and 5-gallon bucket and a 2-gallon bucket and hand sanders and paraphernalia that's used and that sort of thing. But I got in here about 6 o'clock, about an hour and a half ago. Did all of my post-trip stuff that I'm supposed to do, check out with dispatch, told them I was going to spend the night on the yard in the truck, and they said no problem, blah, blah, blah. It's just kind of a ritualistic thing that we do every now and then. So I'm feeling a little grimy. And so I'm going to take my time in moisturizing, hydrating my face and whiskers. Now, I haven't put the video together, obviously, to post up on YouTube, but as you played this, you probably, undoubtedly, observed the beginning little video of that accident scene that I posted at the beginning, and I'll say more about that as we go along. Let me take a moment here and introduce our equipment for the evening. The razor for tonight is one of my most cherished possessions, and it's my Taylor Eyewitness mint condition razor, straight razor, Sheffield. It's got what I believe to be are plastic scales. I don't know if this was rescaled. It's a 3-pin. It's got kind of a ivory looking plastic wedge in there. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful, it's one of my favorite brands. I have two. I'm fortunate enough to have two. I've got this one and another one that's not quite, as quite a good a condition as this one, but this one is just, there's not a flaw on it. It's just beautifully polished. All the jimps. Now, I don't know if there was ever anything imprinted on the face of that blade, but it sure doesn't look like it. And so just a beautiful, beautiful razor. And honed up on the Shapton glass stones through the 8K, then finished on the Coticule, yellow Coticule, Belgian Coticule. Now, I don't have a natural Coticule that has a Belgian blue whetstone backing. Mine's got some sort of other material, slate of some sort. So I've been informed. But everything was dusty. There's gypsum dust all over the place from the sheetrock that they've been working. I right behind this wall right here used to be 2 shower stalls, and they're sardine cans is what they are. And they've taken that all out on the other side, and they've made one large shower stall, nicely stoned in already. And so the problem is, and I'm grateful that they're doing this, but few people will use it. And the reason is that they're not cleaned. They might be cleaned by the cleaning staff Monday through Friday nights, but they're not regularly after every shower clean. There's nobody in attendance. There's nobody waiting, you know. And so, not to mention we got sanitary conditions. We've got pandemic virus conditions, allegedly. And so, who would go into it? Who would go into it if it's not cleaned and sanitized? At least the Love's Truck Stop during the height of the COVID was going in with special cleaning chemical and sanitizing the shower rooms between each use, and they normally do a very good job in cleaning anyway. And so I won't use it unless I fall down in the mud out on the yard here. Would I use it? But nonetheless, don't let me be ungrateful. I appreciate the company doing it. And it needed to be done. Those 2 little sardine cans that they had in there were unacceptable. I remember taking a shower up here one time years ago, and I was bumping my shoulders. I'm a big guy. And bumping my shoulders. I'm sure you observed that video at the beginning. It's a video of an accident scene. In Texas on I-10, Interstate 10, coming southeast out of El Paso. And of course, y'all may be familiar with the southern border issues and immigration issues that we're having at our southern border. And El Paso is one of the hot spots for all of that. And so for years, there's always been, in my experience, a Immigration and Border Service inspection station, about an hour and a half maybe, to the southeast of El Paso on I-10 at a little place called Sierra Blanca, and immigration station there, and vehicles of all types and sizes have to go through this inspection station, and you'll be stopped and you'll be asked, are you a U.S. citizen? How many vehicles, how many persons in the vehicle? Are they all citizens? And sometimes you have to present a passport or identification. I say passport because that's what I usually do, because it's the easiest. As a truck driver, I have to have my passport because I go into Canada all the time. I forget what time of day it was, but yesterday, as I'm approaching this inspection station, as I say, Immigration and Border Customs inspection station, and if you've ever been along the southern border on various points, but particularly Interstate 10 and Interstate 8 coming out of San Diego, getting over toward El Centro in California. There's 2 or 3 along the way there. And same thing, you're going to get stopped. And anyway, coming up on this one in Texas, the inspection station's 2,000 or 3,000 yards ahead. We're all starting half a mile or whatever ahead, and I can see the roofing for this structure, and I know what I'm coming up on. I've been through that thing many, many times. And not a lot of traffic around me, not a lot of vehicles ahead of me. And so I'm just starting to slow down. I took the cruise control off and I'm starting to step on the brake. I'm starting to use the engine brake as a diesel truck would have to slow things down. I'm getting down to 50, 45. And I'm kind of half paying attention to what's going on in front of me. There's no vehicles immediately around me, so I'm kind of in my own space. And all of a sudden, I don't hear anything, but there's a large, doesn't look like an explosion, but a large cloud of dark gray and blackish smoke cloud, and that was immediately either intermingled with or immediately followed by just a huge debris field that just jumps up in the air. And I said, oh my goodness, there's been an accident right in front of me, several hundred yards ahead of me, but I can see it now. Now it has my attention. All right, let's get on with the shave. Now, one of 2 things happened. Well, any number of things could have happened, but either that truck, it was a pickup truck collided with a 18-wheeler truck. I'm not going to call the name of the company. It was a dry van. And I didn't, as I passed the dry van, I didn't get it on camera, but I did not notice any particular large amount of damage on the big truck. But you saw the debris scattered all over the road. You saw how badly damaged that pickup truck was. And amazingly, I mean, it just happened. It just happened. Not 5 seconds, 10 seconds in front of me. Now, either the big truck, and I don't know who was in what lane. That'll play something to do with it. I don't know if that truck, the big truck, hit the small truck from behind and took out the right side. I don't know if the pickup truck drifted to the, maybe he was in the left lane and he drifted to the right and collided with the big truck in the right lane. I don't know the circumstances. But the big truck did not look that badly damaged as I passed by it. The small truck was destroyed, and then you see the guy in the red plaid shirt jump out of the pickup truck. I just pray and hope that there was nobody else in that vehicle sitting in those seats where all of the damage occurred, because they're gone. They're gone. It was just that quick, that fast, that destructive. And they couldn't have been going more than 40 or 45 miles an hour because we were all getting ready to slow down for the inspection station. It was just a few hundred yards, maybe a couple thousand yards at the very most, ahead. I was still far enough back and had presence of mind to grab my cell phone and hit the camera to grab those few seconds on video, because it's a excellent object lesson about situational awareness, knowing who's around you, what would you do in the event of an emergency. But I would be willing to wager that the cause of the accident was distracted driving. There was no reason for that accident. There was wasn't a high rate of speed. It was distracted driving. I would just almost bet the farm on it. Figure of speech. I have limited space compared to what I usually have up here because of all of the construction paraphernalia on the countertop here. But we're gonna make do. So I thought you might enjoy that little bit of, video, a day in the life of. I woke up day before yesterday, no. Yesterday morning, I woke up in Eloy, Arizona, just south of Phoenix a bit, not far between Phoenix and Tucson. And drove to Fort Stockton, Texas. Love's Truck Stop there. I've been there many times and got in there a little bit later than what I would have preferred. And when I got in there, I got in there about 7 o'clock last night. It was well dark. And as is usually the case, you know, and I was just fretting it the whole way. There are 3 or 4 other big truck stops there. And there were only 4 parking places left as I entered the parking lot at 7 p.m. last night. Now trucks, you know, they come and go out of a parking lot. But counting on anything after sunset, that late in the evening, forget about it. That's why I like to park much earlier than what I usually, much earlier than that, and earlier than what a lot of people would stop at. And so, anyway, stopped there, and because it wasn't a shower and shave night, had my dinner and got onto the internet and started looking at movies and videos for a couple of hours and dozed off about 10 o'clock. And that was it. Woke up this morning at 5, had my clock set for 6:15 because I knew I was going to be able to get here tonight. This edge is so smooth, it's sharp as can be. I am just getting a fabulous shave off of it, but it's smooth, it's comfortable. It's just silken. As I say, I woke up about 5 o'clock. I was going to try and drop back off to sleep, but I just couldn't for whatever reason, part of which is I've got a toothache. And as soon as I get home in the morning, or on my drive home in the morning, I'm going to be calling the dentist and we're going to be looking to pull a tooth. I actually got up out of the bed about 7, got dressed and started securing all of my belongings on the bunk and strapping them down and doing what I normally do. But as I opened the curtains, I noticed that there was a huge blanket of fog, thick, dense fog all around with very limited visibility. And I said, well, I'm not going to push out that too early. So I wasn't going to leave too early. I eventually ended up pulling out of the truck stop. I pulled up to the fuel islands, fueled up all my fuels, diesel and DEF, diesel exhaust fluid, and pulled out of the truck stop at about 8:45 this morning. And actually the fog was already on its way to well dissipating, and I did run into 2 rather thick and heavy fog banks along the way, but they weren't that serious, and they were gone in 5-10 minutes after getting into them. I could see just far enough ahead that I wasn't too worried. If it had been thick and blanketed like this morning, at the truck stop, I would have pulled over to the side of the road and wait a little while, which is not the safest thing to do, but make your way to an exit, get off the ramp, park alongside the ramp. Off the freeway is the point I'm getting at. But by the time I got to some distance to the west of San Antonio, left at 8:45, so somewhere around 10:30, all the fog was dissipated pretty good. And a nice, clean sailing drive on into Houston, and here I am with an interesting piece of footage to share with you that I was able to capture on the road yesterday. If you're watching me on YouTube, I say thank you. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'm up to 225 subscribers now, which, you know, just blows my mind, but thank you very much. Once you've hit the like and subscribe button, go on over to The Shaving Cadre, www.theshavingcadre.com. And if you're like me and like watching shaving videos and learning all that you can about this fascinating hobby that we enjoy, go check out Handle Barber Dave and Major Rich and Nurse Dave and Bill M and The Cutthroat Journey and Shooting the Shave and Lukey 3262. Those will all be in my description that I provide on each video or with each video. I want to mention a couple of others that are not members over, as far as I know, over at the Shaving Cadre, and that's Dapper Shaves and Maddie Lindholm and Dino Stamadiades. I can't pronounce his first name, but you'll see his tagline there in the description as well. Oh, that's just fantastic. Fabulous. You know, relationships between husband and wives can be funny. My wife and I have had this conversation many a time, whether or not that when I come in late in the evening like this, do I lay over on the yard or do I come on home? Like tonight, we had it again, and she always does this. My wife does. She says, "Oh, I want you to come home tonight." Well, okay, but it'll be, close to 9 o'clock when I get in, and I'll need to take a shower, and I can shave in the morning. That's fine. It doesn't have to. This is a 48-hour shave, by the way. So I would have been just that many more hours with these whiskers, which wasn't my ideal to go home like that. I'd rather go home clean shaven, even though I might need a shower. No, I'm not going to use these. And so I said, "Are you sure you want me to come home?" "Oh, yeah. And I'm still in the truck, and I'm just coming up the street, ready to hit the main gate here." And I said, "You're sure? Okay, so I'll pack my stuff and I'll go ahead and get that. That's what you're..." And she said, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower now, knowing that you're coming up on the yard, and I'll call you in a little bit when I get out of the shower," she says. Okay. And she does. She calls me about 30 minutes later, says, because we have this whole thing. I mean, it's like a ritual almost. I said, "Well, I'm going to want dinner, because she's been cooking. She just loves to cook, and she's been cooking and got all kinds of new recipes from food.com and other places that she frequents." And I said, "You're sure? I mean, it's going to be midnight before we go to bed. Not that we have to get up in the morning. I got to go to the dentist maybe tomorrow, but unlikely." Very nice. Very nice indeed. So this is razor number 5 in my 7-day roll-up, which is I'm working off of my, what I call my number 2 7-day roll-up, which I also call my Wyatt collection. And after my grandson, and the reason for that is because my daughter bought all the razors in it for me. And this this particular roll-up, the 7 razors, 4 of them are the Philharmonicas that you've seen me use on this trip earlier in the week, and this is number 5. And then the next 2 one is a Simon 5/8, and the next one is another prized possession. It's a mint conditioned T.R. Cadman bangle. Very nice condition that one is. And the only difference in my mind is that I understand that the T.R. Cadman people produce the bangle later than the people that do the Taylor Eyewitness. My understanding is that Taylor Eyewitness was largely out of business by 1924, which just blows my mind. If this is truly a mint condition that has survived since 1924, when they went out of business, it's just amazing. And you can see how good it's doing. It's just, oh, that's fabulous. This is a wonderful razor. This is a wonderful hobby. I never I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store every time I open up my razors. And I got, ooh, this one's next. This one's next. And I feel very much the same way about my brushes. Now I chose tonight, I used the Simpson Chubby 3 that I've been carrying. I always carry 2 brushes with me on the road like this. And I've got my Badger brushes divided into what I call my A group and my B group. My A group are the top brands, just the expensive and, you know, this and that, but they're the top brands. And my B group is my B group are just, you know, what it sounds like. They're second stringers. They're not the $500 brushes, the $1,000 brushes. They're, you know, $40, $50, $60 brushes. But this one is a Stirling, and I didn't introduce it earlier. It's a Stirling Soap Company 24 millimeter Badger. I hesitate to call it a premium silver tip, but it feels just like a premium silver tip in other brushes that I have. So there's that comparison. And I've only used it once previous on this trip, and I've used the Simpson 3 or 4 times, and I feel like I gave this one short shift. Is that a good way to say it? And it's a good little brush. There's nothing wrong with it. Simpson makes quality, affordable products at a, generally speaking, at a budget price. And you can't beat them. But the problem with getting a brush like that, yeah, you're meeting your budgetary demands in getting a lesser, it makes you want more. Is that an argument for making a bad product? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to buy the expensive one. Of course, they have their problems too, but I have a VP Leon Hardy brush in my collection. It's a little floppy for me, 28 to 30 millimeter, big brush, tall, the loft is tall. And I don't use it that often because I'm not crazy about that loft, but it was expensive. When I say expensive, I mean it was about $180 to $250. And I bought it from a well-known vendor. If I said his name, you'd know who it was right off the bat, I dare say. And you know and should know that all brushes, when they first are being used, are going to shed. They're going to lose a few hairs here and there. And it shouldn't last more than just a few days, maybe a week. Whenever I buy a new brush, I always take it on the road with me and use it for a week exclusively. I don't take 2. I just take the one new one. And so, but this one kept shedding. First it was, 10 to 20 bristles per shave early on, then it tapered down, and then it came back with a whole bunch. And I called the vendor. He said, send it back. I'll send you another one. You know, good for him, good. The second one did much the same thing. And it was just, I had it for a while. I say a while, more than a month, maybe not as much as 3 months, but I had it for a while. And I called him and said, well, you know, it's still doing it. And I, you know, like I say, $150, $250, they shouldn't be doing this that long. And he said, I can't exchange it again for you. My recommendation is go direct to the vendor, manufacturer in Germany. VP Leon Hardy is in Germany. So I emailed them, found their website, emailed them, sent them pictures of what it was doing, what it looked like. And they, based upon the pictures and description that I sent to them, they replaced it for me. I didn't even have to send the old one back, which I took that handle, I de-knotted it, took the old knot out and put a new knot in of another source. But I told that story largely because I was talking about how much joy this hobby brings to me and all the toys we get to play with. And I've never been one in my life where I've had a lot of hobbies, or frankly, any hobbies, until this came along. And I think I'm ready to move on to the next step. The against the grain. And I'm taking a little bit long tonight. Still going to do a head shave here in a few minutes when I'm done with this. A little warm in here. Of course, it's Sunday night and nobody's around. I suspect they turned off the AC to this part of the building. I knew something was up when I came around the corner, came up the stairs and around the corner, and I saw the door off the hinges. Well, that's interesting. And then the sign said out of order. When I said, who's going to be here on Sunday night to say no? You can't go in there. Yeah, watch me. Especially with hot water in the sink. Oh no, I'm using that one. Well, as I stand here and talk, I'm starting to wind down a little bit, get a little bit tired. It was about a 9-hour drive in, and doing top, full speed most of the way. A little bit of a slowdown in San Antonio, but nothing new or surprising about that. But that didn't impede me too badly. Got around San Antonio, got on I-10 coming east to Houston, and it's 3.5 hours approximately. Anyway, so it was a good trip. It was a good day today. Now, as I'm coming across the front of my face like that, I don't know if you're noticing, but I'm rotating the brush in my hand to get the soap and the lather from all sides of the brush onto my face. I don't know if you noticed that little bit of stretching I did there with my left hand as I came across up like that, but I stretched that so I could get the little bit that I felt in there. Still not perfect the way I would like it, but by the time my pores close up and the whiskers retract, it'll be just fine. And that's the part of the shaving process that I don't get yet, that because I am just tempted to pursue everything I feel and I don't know when I don't have to, because I know the skin's going to tighten up and those whiskers are going to retract and they're going to be below the skin line. Right there in the corner of my mouth, that's where I have a lot of problems, even when I'm doing the fool's pass and I'm trying to get it doing that. But I've been starting doing this upstroke in the corners of my mouth with my mouth open, and that seems to be helping. Sometimes it shows my tongue and my dirty mouth, and just fine indeed. Now, with that sore tooth that I've had today, I've been eating a lot of aspirin, and I'm one of those, I guess, that can tolerate just ordinary, regular, 350, 325 milligram aspirin well, tolerably. And so when I left this morning at 8:45 from Port Stockton, I popped about 3 of them, actually 4, swallowed 2 and chewed the other 2 up and packed it around my tooth. And it seemed like most of the day today, I've been every 3 to 4 hours, so 3 times, maybe 4 times today, I've been taking some aspirin, a lot of aspirin. 3 to 4 tablets. And last time I took aspirin was, I got in at 6, so it would have been around 4 o'clock. And so we're well after 8 now, aren't we? Maybe even close to shooting 9. And my tooth has not been hurting. Since that last dosage I took. I bet I sleep good tonight. Well, I think that'll do. Okay, let's rinse her off and see what we got. going to rerun some hot water here. As the basin has gotten kind of cooled down. By the way, I've just all over the map tonight using the Peach and Cognac A&E. Yep, that did it. It's all over my blade. I can see it. Can you see all that? It comes from right in here, right where that tendon is on my neck. All of it. Look at all that. What a mess. All right, I think that's going to do the face shave, and so we'll move on to the head shave. I'm going to just dry off. Yeah, that was my 9 o'clock alarm that went off. You know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and do it because I might as well record it. I started it back up. My 9 o'clock alarm is from my nighttime medicine. I'm like a lot of people my age, 63 years old, take medication for this and that. And it's the usual stuff that you would think about for a man my age. Especially as a truck driver, I gotta be mindful of the stuff that the DOT wants you to be mindful of. Blood pressure, diabetes. Not that I got diabetes, mind you, but although my wife says I don't eat a lot of sweets, and she don't cook a lot of sweets, hardly at all. I think I get something 2, maybe 3 times a year. And I have to promise her, I have to sign a statement to my wife at the beginning of every trip before I leave the house. I will not buy candy. Okay. I will not buy candy. Or any other sweet. You know, birthday, my birthday, her birthday, and Thanksgiving and Christmas is about the only time I get any real anniversary, maybe. But, you know, I get all the smoked brisket I want. You can't argue with that, really. Trade off the candy for the smoked brisket, or, oh, you may not remember, but earlier in the year, back in the summer sometime, she made pastrami, homemade pastrami from scratch. And that's where you take the brisket and soak it in a brine for 7 to 10 days in the refrigerator. She called it beef bacon. That's how good it was. It was beef bacon. It was delicious. All right, for the head shave, as usual, at least this is the last usage. I'll be swapping this one out with a different Union razor. But this is a Union razor, and honed up on a translucent, I think. Didn't I change all of the Union razors over to translucent? Norton's translucent that I have. I think I did do that. And if I remember right, it was just a few weeks ago that I couldn't remember the razors in my collection that I had honed up on the Norton translucent. I remember the ones with the Dan's Hard Black or Dan's True Hard that I've got. I've even changed over the Boker Count Engelbert II over to the Norton translucent, just to say I could remember, so I could remember. Yeah, this one is, you know, because I did so many on the Hard Black that I couldn't remember, because I got the translucent, Norton translucent. I've got the Dan's True Hard, which don't get a lot of play. It doesn't get a lot of play in the media. Am I a part of the media? I don't know. But it's a wonderful stone, and most people are looking for the flash and the bang that comes with a translucent or a True Hard or a Hard Black, surgical black. And you know, if you want to pay, and that's fine, because I do. I'd love to have a Dan's translucent to compare with the Norton translucent, just for, you know, kicks and giggles. You know, but we're looking at what, a $300 stone just for novelty's sake, when I've got other alternatives that are equal. But I would do that. But I've got other things on my priority list right now. And Santa has said that I get an allowance for Christmas. And tell me what you think. Yeah, here's an item for the comment section. Tell me what you think. At the very top of my next to buy list are the 3 new soaps by Dovo in their little jar with the cork styled stopper on top. I know one of them is like a Berlin Barber or something like that. And that's fine. That sounds interesting enough. And I don't remember what the other 2 are. Isn't it a bay rum scent? I don't know. And a citrus scent. I think the last one is a citrus scent. And that's all well and fine. but and they're made by or in cooperation or conjunction with A&E, and I'll probably end up ordering them from Jared at the Superior Shave. I say probably, I mean I'm almost certain I will. Why wouldn't I? But yeah, that's at the top of my buy list. Next time I get a windfall from Santa, so the question to you is that a good idea? The Dovo soaps, the new ones that have recently come out. That's my plan. Like I need more soap, you know? So today is Sunday. My next shave will likely be on Tuesday morning, depending upon what my dentist's schedule is like and what state of pain I may or may not be in. And I'm gonna use the clippers and buzz my head, and it's just, I do that every 4 to 5 days as I can. I love the precision of the straight razor. It just brings all the lines into sharp focus. And this is after about the third day, after I've clipped my hair, and it was in Tehachapi. What would that be? Day after delivery was on Tuesday, so it had been Wednesday night. Thursday morning, because I went in at the daytime, didn't I? And today is Sunday. And so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the fourth day. And it'll be tomorrow, the fifth day. And so that's about as long as I like to go. But, you know, sometimes the conditions and circumstances of the road dictate otherwise. Yeah, this side's still a little shorter than this side. You know, I could clip it, but Very nice. Take a little bit of the cream, pat it back there. I don't do this very often, but I don't feel rushed tonight. I don't feel like somebody's gonna be knocking on the door saying, "Are you done yet?" So, and oh, it feels nice. Back there, nothing like a smooth neck. For me, it just feels good after, along with the shave, you know. Sometimes I wish I could just take my ears off for a second, set them aside, put them back on. There, I think I got it. All right. So, on the face, we use the Taylor Eyewitness. Just a lovely, near mint condition. I can't find a flaw on it. It's just a beautiful razor. Allegedly ceased production around 1924. one of my most cherished possessions. Union Razor on the head, Ariana and Evans this week. Peach and Cognac. It'll go back into rotation, and we won't see it again for another 6 months or more. My overall impression is it's a delightful soap. It's got a very nice aromatic peach-like, and whatever cognac smells like. It's a very creamy soap, and I'm used to more tallow, a little bit more lathering, not airy, but just traditional good lather. And to me, it just don't feel like that. That's not to say I don't like it. It's just different, and it's a different kind of soap than what I'm used to. But I've got 4 or 5 Ariana and Evans soaps in my collection, and so we'll see if the others perform the similar way or not. Don't know. What else have we got? Oh, this we have the Stirling soap 24 brush, Stirling brush, 24 millimeter Badger, and as far as I can tell, it's just as near good a brush in my experience. And this is one of the early brushes I bought too, when funds were a little bit more limited, and this has been well used over the last 7 years. All right, so that's it. I will have this posted up later tonight, overnight probably. Thank you for joining me. And should I or should I not have the Dovo new soaps at the top of my next purchase list? I will see you down the road.